We continue on. So, after we met Pain, and after searching around for a ship, after hearing much rambling from a drunk pirate that I bought many drinks for, and then he insulted me saying I got him drunk when he was already drunk in the first place, I found the location of... Oh yeah, and after re-meeting our captain of this that took us to the Isle of Despair, cause he lost his ship in a gambling game. So they gave me the location of Stringy Pete, which is the pirate that ransacked and pillaged everything 200 years ago. And I came for his ship. We'll be treading upon my grave. I'll be trying to get your hands on me treasure. Prepare to die, you lambing gutbagger. No one sees the evil eye old String Pete and leaves. Wait, I'm not here to take anything, I just wanna talk. Talk? What would a rubber-legged big fish like you wanna talk to be talking about with the ghost of Stringy Pete? I've been sailing in the seas of Arcanum for more than 200 years, and I drink blood ale and now on the bones of priests and maidens. I'm not bad looking to talk. Please, just a moment. Explain? What do you be needing to explain, lassie? You be digging around me bones and looking for me treasure. To a pirate, that'd be worse than finding a bait in your hook with me wife. Well, look, I'm here because I want your boat. Me boat? I care for me wife less than this boat. Why in the name of all that's unholy would I give you my boat? You're speaking gibberish, and I had more than a year of it. A soul tormented as me has got little patience for the blubberings of a living. Tormented? Don't you enjoy being a bloodthirsty pirate, Ghost? Enjoy it? Are you daft, missy? I was the crustiest, meanest, most bloodthirsty pirate who ever lived, and none of what I did when I was alive compared to the things I've seen dead. What have you seen? I see all the souls of the dead who walk with sword, and I see the souls of my victims, and they torment me as I still be tormenting the living. And it be their pain I feel every day and every night on these glassy seas, and their dead eyes be staring at me from their murky depths. And who cursed you to this fate? I cursed myself! I spilled the blood of innocents, desecrated holy places, and the worst thing I ever did, I broke a pirate's blood oath. Even without the first two, I deserve what I got cause of the last. I shouldn't even call myself a pirate after things I did. So you're saying you don't wanna be here? No, but I've got no choice. I was cursed, lassie, cursed from the day I died to save the seas forever. Haunting those souls to be taking my name in vain, to strike terror in the pure of heart, to be giving little ones nightmares. Well, is there no way to break the curse? Break the curse? And why would you want to do that, lassie? Why would one such as you want me helping the evil ghost of a String Pete? Your boat, Captain. I need your boat. That'd be quite a story, and I might not be inclined to believe when I was slashing blood. But shudder, the squid's beak if and hasn't seen stranger things since. Perhaps there's something we might do here. Well, appreciated. Bro, I can't be giving up this boat on account of the curse. It'd be my fate to save those old chambers till the end of time. But I know a way we might break that curse if you'd be willing to do a little legwork. Well, there be 3 things if my suspicions are correct. 3 wrongs to right and the curse will be broken. Well, basically to sum it up, he wants to give his treasure to someone he stole and became poor, for his family. And then he wants to fix the altar he broke that I already did when I wanted to use the altar. And lastly, he wants me to recover a Evangelion Scourge sword that made him go mad and murder all of his fellow pirates and destroy it, which I did. So I did a lot of leveling up in the middle of this, so let's skip to the next thing. And here are we. Ahoy, lassie, did you succeed in finishing your tasks? Yeah, I've done it. That'd be amazing, laddie. Never thought you'd be able to do it. Never thought someday I'd be free of this bloody curse. Thank you, from the bottom of my pirate's heart. Now about that boat. Yeah, of course, lassie, she's all yours. I was recovering the dagger, the cursed dagger of Xerxes to kill that demon. And I found these guys at the entrance of the cave. Well, maiden, might I ask who you are? I am Jaideverhad, noble warrior from Flamekeep. These are my brave companions, Morrowind, Rindiak, and Frondo. Who might you be? Pray tell, what is your quest? Are you here to recover the famed blade of Xerxes? Yes. We too were here for that same purpose. We had been sent by Baron Sag himself to retrieve the blade. A sizable fortune awaits our Sussex's return. Oh, I intend to retrieve it too, so as I was retrieving it, I found them dead inside the cave, and then I resurrected them, and then they lived happily ever after, and I got the blade and I left. Now, let's go to buying the Bates Mansion. Well, here we are. I've got the money. Give me the mansion. I have brought money to buy it. Gimme. Excellent! She is yours! Here's the key to the front gate. Thank you. Oh, the guards don't come with it. The guards are gone. Okay. Now, Payne, join us!
Hello again! And again, it's my pleasure!
Have you a moment?
Yes, of course.
Come with me.
Why, yes! I'd love to go! I've been itching for another round or two with those Thanatos beasties anyhow. And I just might be a spot of help when it comes to navigating that bubbling cauldron of death. Ha ha ha! Right! To Thanatos it is!
I love this guy! How come did I not find him sooner?
What can I do for you, madam? Of course! What can I do for you, madam? Surely! What would you like to know? What can I do for you, madam? Surely! Ah, this is Blackroot, madam! I live here. Fairly standard little fishing town. But there's not a better place in all of Arcanum if you're looking for someone to take you on an adventure. Most of the crusty old sea captains can be found down at the Sour Barnacle, the tavern right near the docks. Of course, the ale there is a bit sour as well. But you can't have it all, can you? No, of course not. Jolly good!
Yes. Okay. Well, Sir Payne, get ready for Thanatos then. This is our ship. Let's go. It starts at a camp. That's great. Tell me about this place.
What can I do for you, madam? Surely. What would you like to know?
The things he already told me. Well, let's figure out what's around here then. Well, for a start, we have found a book. November's 790. I've made not too long ago. I've made several forays into the interior with nothing to show for my efforts save my wounds. This island is aptly named, and I thank the gods for the Smithers, my faithful guide. He has already saved my life several times over in the short time we've been here. I am certain that the Ashlag tribe still exists on this island, and I mean to prove it, monsters or not. November 13. I have found the remains of an old site, but it appears to have been uninhabited for several years now. I was unable to determine why the site was abandoned, though I did recover some important artifacts. November 20. I write this as Smithers and I lie terribly wounded, somewhere in the jungle. In our searching today, we were set upon by creatures most fierce. Smithers sustained much more serious injuries than I, as he drew the beast away from me at his own peril. He was victorious, but at a high cost. I managed to drag Smithers into a thicket of trees, where he presumably will be safe for the moment. November 30. Smithers died today after battling madness brought on by his wounds. I fear my time is soon at hand, too. December 3. Irony of ironies! I was discovered by the very people who I came to this island to discover. Scouts of the Ashlag tribe found me hovering near death and brought me to their camp, where they helped me recover. Contrary to what I believed, they reside in the interior of the island, and not along the coast. The most shocking part of this is that there was a previous civilization in this island. The Ashlag have made their home amongst the ruins of some great, forgotten civilization. Location of the tribe. January 15th. The Ashlag have welcomed me as a member of their tribe and have treated me as an important guest. I am now privy to their secret rituals and their arcane religious superstitions. It seems that their primitive religion has gone through some revisions as of late to incorporate a godlike figure or phenomena. I am still having slight difficulty with their spoken language that supposedly resides somewhere in the island. January 13th. I have convinced the chief of tribe to allow me to come along on their pilgrimage to leave sacrifices for their new god, which I have termed the god of Thanatos, for want of a better description. I have also been able to discern where on the island the supposed godlike force resides. December 12. Oh, that's a whole year. I have returned to my base camp with the help of the tribesmen to leave this journal, so that if anything happens to me, the future will know that I was successful in my endeavors to locate the mythical Ashlag tribe. Ooh, now we have a location. We are at the remains of the city, and yeah, it does look very much like remains of an old city. Very old city. Just lost to the jungle. I still have not found any humans in here. Honestly, this place feels like a maze. I mean, to be honest, tropical forests are kinda like a maze. Well, it has been 100 years since then, now that I checked the time. Maybe they're all dead and gone. So let's go to the house of the one they called the god. He called the god of Thanatos. We arrive at the bridge to the house at the dead of night. Oh, it's gonna be a path full of monsters. Well, let's get to it then. Charge! Charge, man! Hey, we are out after killing many monkeys. Oh, I see a house. There we go, I see a house and a camp. That's not in a great state. I wonder if Brock eats monkey meat all day. It only has a bed. Well, okay then. Hello there.
What do you want of me? I did not choose to live on this island for its ambience. I chose it so I wouldn't have to entertain fools. Leave me be.
Calm down, I'm not here to bother you. I'm looking for a grave.
That is quite the fool's journey just to find someone's dead body. I'm afraid to ask, but whose grave would you be looking for?
I'm afraid to ask.
I'm afraid to ask, because I know the answer. There's only one reason any fool would risk his life to come here, and that is to search for the great Nasrudin.
It doesn't sound as if you hold him in high regard.
The great Nasrudin is nothing but a thorn in my side all these many years.
You seem fairly bitter though, as the old chap.
What? How dare you, old man? Do you have any idea who you're talking about? Nasrudin was the wisest and most benevolent elf in the history of Arcanum. He saved us all, and that includes you. So I recommend you keep your comments to yourself.
Oh? And you think you know about Nasrudin, young man? Who are you to tell me about that old worthless elf?
Worthless? Why, I ought to... No, I'm not going to sink to your level, old man. Nasrudin would have had more patience with men of your kind, and so will I. I don't have to defend him.
Oh, of course you don't have to defend him, young man. The old elf was completely incorrigible. There's no defense whatsoever for individuals of such low character as he. You've chosen well not to waste your words on the likes of Nasrudin.
You're testing my patience, old man. Another bad word about Nasrudin, and it might just be the last one you say on both feet. Do we understand one another?
Your robes. They remind me of someone I once met many years ago. I can't remember the young man's name, but he was part of some religion. The Panari, I think it was called. Are you also of the Panari, young man?
Yes, I am of the Panari. I am Virgil, a new acolyte, but strong in my beliefs. Who are you?
You call yourself one of the defenders, and you don't know who I am?
Oh my. Master, please forgive me. I didn't know. I mean, I thought you had been reborn. Greetings, great Nasrudin.
What? You're Nasrudin? I mean, I can't pretend the surprise, but this is very funny.
I would say in all my glory. I'm afraid I haven't any left.
But aren't you Nasrudin, the one that saved the world from Aranax or something?
No. I delivered the world to Aranax. I put in place the system that he felt was his for the taking. I even imparted my elven arrogance to him. I must bear full responsibility for his actions.
Oh, isn't that a bit dramatic? Aranax's actions were his own.
You do not understand. He was my son. I taught him everything. Only to see him be carried away by his youthful temper. I should have seen it. There must have been a way to stop him before it came to what it did.
I heard all the legends, but can you tell me what really happened?
It started in the Age of Legends. I was young, headstrong. I thought I could take on the world, and I did. I fought the good fight to protect the lesser races, as I arrogantly called them, from the chaos that raged everywhere. Dragons, demons, evil sorcerers, I fought them all and won. And this, all before even the days of the Elven Council.
How did the Elven Council come about?
I gathered a group of idealistic mages together, and we created an Elven Council, for the good of all. We really believed that. For a time, I suppose it was even true. I really believe things began to change when we discovered a way to banish things from this plane of existence.
Why?
It was the ultimate weapon. Once something was banished from this plane of existence, it could never return. With ultimate power comes ultimate responsibility, and ultimate corruption. We were quick to use it on new and ever more terrible threats. The Bane of Kree, Krakatur, Gorgoth, Kurgan.
And how did Aranax fit into all this?
Sometime during all this heroic carnage, my son came of age. I quickly ushered him into the council, amidst some of the others' protest about his young age and inexperience. And then it all came crashing down upon me. Look, are you certain you really want to hear all this self-pitying drivel?
Sure! I mean, people have been chasing me all over for this damn thing. I wanna know all about it. So what did we do that was so terrible? What happened? Tell me. Go on.
He had taken it upon himself to keep the balance, as he termed it. He believed that being a member of the council validated any course of action he chose to pursue. This meant attacking anything he saw as a threat, such as a city that had begun building advanced technological devices. Vendegroth, it was called. He warned them to cease their destructive behavior and destroyed one of their factories to underscore his point. Justifiably afraid for their very lives, they swiftly constructed a device that could destroy even the most powerful wizard. He responded by calling on forces that few of us had ever seen, and wiping not just the city, but the whole province of Vendegroth from the face of Arcanum with one blow.
Oh shit.
He felt himself betrayed when the council condemned his actions. He showed no remorse. In his arrogance, he was sure he would be vindicated. I cast the deciding vote to banish my own son. If I must die, I will be the last, he screamed as he hurled the spell that brought an end to the council, the Age of Legends, and my will to live. It was a harsh dawn that morning on the plains of Brodgar, and it was there in the shadow of the Black Spire that our armies met in the most terrible battle that our
It's playing
king has
two
ever
songs,
seen.
one over the other. Let me see if I can fix this. Oh well, I'll leave it.
As the sun set, only 4 of us were still alive to witness the destruction we had brought to pass. I found Aranax among the corpses of our decimated armies, and it was there that I condemned my own son to the void. It was only through our combined might that Aranax was subdued, and I watched my own son fall into the horror of the void. But such was the fury and power unleashed by this conflict that the very fabric of reality was torn asunder. With our remaining energy, we were able to seal the rift with powerful wards, and the Ring of Brodgar still stands today as a monument to my son's destructive pride and my own unforgivable failure.
When I regained consciousness, I was on the shore of Thanatos. I'd regained just enough energy to seal myself in a regenerative shell. I remained that way for 1,000 years. No one had ever stayed in a shell for anywhere near that amount of time. Somehow, my magical hibernation extended my life much beyond that of even the most powerful elven mages.
What can you tell me about the others that were banished?
Whose tale of woe would you like to have recounted? Gorgoth's is a simple tale, though disturbingly common in the age of legends. He was a mindless beast with an insatiable appetite. He had a liking for halflings, if I recall correctly. Bringing him low took quite a fierce battle, though a mindless one. We could think of nothing to do with him, so we banished him to the void to keep him from wreaking any more havoc. What is it that is troubling your thoughts? Whose tale of woe would you like to have recounted? The Bane of Kree. Bringing him to justice was what established my reputation as a warrior, which eventually led to legends surrounding me which I had no control over. The Bane was a nomad warrior who was able to gather together nearly all the ancient nomadic tribes and create a vicious army out of them. I became involved when he slaughtered the army of Kree. His legendary courage failed him. When faced with certain defeat, he lost his mind and fled back to Kree. He had his army slaughter every man, woman, and child in his desperation. I do not know what he hoped to accomplish by this. When I caught up with him, I was overcome by a bit of the madman myself. I banished him single-handedly in my fury, which is not an easy thing to do, even then. What is it that is whose tale of woe? Krakatoa was a conniving coward who found a way to turn himself into a twisted monster, half man and half dragon. In this form, he terrorized cities and villages, killing their inhabitants and burning them to the ground. After a colossal battle and his defeat at the hands of the council, he cried and begged us not to banish him. Pathetic. What is it that is troubling? Whose tale? Kurgan was a member of the council, the only human one, in fact. He was a dabbler, he was, always experimenting and searching for new magics. His discovery of the necromantic arts was the beginning of the end for him. The council took a dim view of magics that had the ability to manipulate the very life force of a being, and we bade him to stop any further inquiries in that area.
And he didn't.
He totally disregarded our warnings and continued his ghastly experiments. Aranax was assigned to investigate, and turned up the rather disturbing details. Kurgan had been stealing corpses and experimenting with their life forces. What was infinitely more disturbing to me, though, was the vehemence of Aranax's drive to have Kurgan banished rather than simply exiled.
Why did that trouble you?
Our mission was to impartially judge, to rule for the common good, regardless of our personal feelings. Aranax did not even attempt to hide his hatred of Kurgan. Worse, I always suspected that Aranax's hate was based more on the fact that Kurgan was a human on the Elven Council than on the facts of the case.
Didn't you think Kurgan's crime warranted banishment, though?
I believe our decision was the correct one. It is just that there is a proper way to conduct oneself, and Aranax was neither unbiased nor objective. I began to have serious misgivings about his membership on the council after this. The whole Vendigroth situation exploded shortly afterwards, before I could come to a decision about Aranax's role on the council. What is it that is troubling your thoughts?
So why have you hidden here for 1,000 years?
The world out there is not mine. It only serves to remind me of my failure. Everyone I knew, everything I held dear is gone. I myself should have died long ago. Besides, I do not fancy being worshipped as a god.
I know the feeling. The Panari think I'm your reincarnation.
I pity you, then. I received a taste of their hero worship from Mannix, and I can tell you I didn't like the taste of it one bit.
Interesting point of view.
Hold on there. Do you two realize exactly what you're talking about here? Perhaps this is an interesting philosophical debate for you two, but we're talking about the foundations of the Panari religion here.
Ah, Virgil.
I mean, if you're not dead, that means you're not his reincarnation. Where the bloody hell does that leave the rest of us? Are any of the prophecies true? Have all of us Panari just been running around half-cocked for the last 2,000 years?
Probably.
Easy, young Virgil. I know how all of this must make you feel, and I apologize for making light of your beliefs. Unfortunately, I don't have the answers you're seeking.
I mean no disrespect, Nasrudin, but if you don't have any idea as to what's going on here, then you'll forgive me if I'm having a few doubts concerning the validity of my newfound religion.
Yeah, good point.
Good, Virgil. If there is one thing in life that one must learn, it is to question everything. In the end, I'm sure you will have the answers that you seek. And whether or not this is all the fulfillment of a prophecy or just random chance, does it change the gravity of our situation? Would you do anything differently if you knew one way or the other?
No, I wouldn't. And I will see this until the end, regardless of the reasons behind it. Thank you, Nasrudin. At the very least, your wisdom warrants a religious movement, even if its followers tend to be a bit soft in the head.
Oh, I'm touched. Listen, Nasrudin. Tell me about this story.
I feel as if I've been waiting to hear those words since I awoke those many years ago. I had hoped it would never come to this. Why, Aranax? Why can't you see the folly of the path you've chosen? What are you going to do about this situation?
What am I going to do? He's your son. What are you going to do?
I fear there is nothing I can do. I am old, tired. I do not believe I could stand up against my son now, even if I could find the heart to try.
Why is it that he's still so powerful after all this time?
We do not know what life in the void is like, if it can be even called life. Who knows what sources of power could be found on the other side?
Oh, there must be some way to stop him.
I can think of only one possible strategy to defeat him now. You must retrieve the Vendigroth device that was meant to destroy him.
The Vendigroth device? You said Vendigroth was destroyed.
And so it was, above ground. There are many catacombs and tunnels lying beneath the surface. Some of the members attempted to retrieve it to use against Aranax, but they never returned. We were forced to battle him without it, and you know the consequence of that.
What does the device do?
Extremely powerful mages have the ability to regenerate themselves whenever they are badly hurt, as I did. If one is powerful enough to hurt a master sorcerer gravely, the mage will retreat into his regenerative shell and emerge stronger than ever. The device is the only way known to disrupt the regenerating shield.
And does it kill the mage within?
Quite so. The technology of the device is designed to disrupt the field in such a way as to cause the shell to drain the life force instead of regenerating it. Quite gruesome to contemplate, actually. Further, it is said that one who is killed in this manner is forever separated from this world, with no chance of being returned magically or otherwise.
Oh, why don't you retrieve it?
I must conserve what little remains of my energy to banish you to the void once you have retrieved the device. The banishment spell is rarely performed by a single mage. Its power requirement is so great.
Wait, you are gonna banish me?
Certainly. If we were to wait for Aranax to breach the wards, I fear the loss of life would be immeasurable.
Eh?
I do not know exactly. Those days are long past, and with them a better part of my memory, I'm afraid. All I know is that at one point Vendigroth and its settlements spread out over that whole area now known as the Wastes. There was a bridge leading into the Vendigroth province. Here.
Well, I'll be off to the Vendigroth then.
Where is the device? Have you retrieved it? Why are you delaying? It is of the utmost importance that we stop Aranax before he returns.
I decided it would be more amusing to kill you instead. There's the option. Well...
What is it that you want of me? What can I answer for you? We are meant to traverse the waste.
What is it you need? What would you like to know?
Well, that was interesting. There's some more dialogue if I talk about Aranax first.
Someone needs to do something about this situation. But I am too old, and I don't trust you. You are far too evil.
You can trust me.
I would sooner trust Aranax himself. If you wish to gain my trust, you must gamble your life for the cause of good.
I would prefer to gamble that I can kill you for no cause at all. What do you want me to do?
About 100 years ago, a tribe of primitive humans that lived on this island decided I was a god. They would come all the way down here to give me offerings, no matter how I tried to dissuade them. The last time they tried to come here, they were set upon by the Bogoroth. I happened upon the carnage too late to save them.
Why haven't you killed it?
I am old, and my power is fading rapidly. I have felt it necessary to conserve as much as possible in the event Aranax ever devised a way to return. Even with these efforts, I possess nowhere near the power I would need to combat my son after so much time has passed.
Oh, where is it?
Here, let me mark your map with the location. Am I to assume you have rid this world of the evil of the Bogoroth? I can think of only one possible strategy to defeat him now.
Yeah, no,
You
it's
must
the same
retrieve the
thing.
Vendigroth device that was meant to destroy him.
Oh, there's more of another option I didn't pick. You would turn your back on your responsibilities at a hint of danger. Well, they are not my responsibilities.
We have no choice in our responsibilities in this life, regardless of how it may appear. I can assure you, this is your task to shoulder.
Well, then why are you trying to pawn off your responsibilities at me?
Then be gone with you, spineless worm!
Sure thing.
Generative state, I traveled to the mainland. I suppose I thought I could somehow live among the world again. After I spoke with that Mannix fellow, I knew I was deluding myself.
Didn't he tell him who you were?
After I listened to his insane beliefs for what seemed like hours, I hinted that I had actually known Nasrudin. He was already too far gone. He would not have believed any of my protests or denials of my godhood. He most likely would have interpreted the whole thing as some sort of test, I suppose.
What happened to Manox? They believe he ascended with you.
Yes, word of that eventually reached my ears. I can only assume that somehow he realized who I was and began talking about his visitation. I have not the slightest idea where the ascension piece of the legend originated from.
Well, that sucks. Well, we did what we came for. Now I am off to Vendigroth, but I might just stop by Caladon first to see if we can toss some clues on what happened and maybe change the religion forever. Well, let's see if we can tell them anything about all this. Nothing. Okay. How about the other guy? It hasn't updated anything on this quest. Well, that has that's gonna be that for today then. Let me just drop by Vendigrath. The music there is cool. Oh, there's someone here. So off we go to the bridge. Great bridge of Vendigrath. Oh, there's no music yet. Oh no. Oh well, that's that then. Until next time.